Hey guys, my name's Crystal Kenny, and I'm in love with creating. All things artistic and imagination involved. I'm an American girl who chased her creative dreams all the way to Paris, France, making a living using photography. This podcast takes you inside the stories of all the artsy folks I've met along the way and gives you that extra push to discover your creative gifts. The desire to create is deeply inside each and every one of us, and I give you the tools and inspiration to find a new way of living a more creative life. This is La Vie Creative, the podcast. My guest today is an award-winning designer, speaker, educator, and creative leader with nearly 20 years of experience as a creative director, art director, and designer. She founded her own media platform that consists of a weekly podcast, Design Speaks, and a YouTube channel. Please welcome to the show, Brandi Sea. Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. If you want more bonus material and to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/La Vie Creative. And also don't forget to check out Amazon, where you can pick up my new book, Paris, A Life Less Ordinary. In the book, I talk about my creative adventures in Paris, from starting my business to being homeless, hello, starving artist, to how I met all these wonderful creative people. Don't forget to check it out on Amazon. And also thank you so much once more for listening and for your support. Enjoy the show. So I am here with Brandi Sea. I'm so happy to have you on the show. Claudine Hemingway actually told me about you and how great you are and creative you are. And I was like, oh, I need to talk to her as well. So let's chat a little bit about...
I'm so excited to be here. I'll just pretend like I'm sitting in your room with you in Paris.
Exactly. You're in my living room. Yeah. Well, don't feel bad. All the broadcasts I feel like have been done through the computer because of COVID life. So when you come back, definitely in our living room.
That's the key word. When I come
back. Not if, when.
Always when.
Exactly. I can't wait for the borders to open. I'm so tired of this, but we will see. It shouldn't be too much.
There are no borders on the computer for this podcast.
Exactly. The internet has opened our worlds. So tell listeners a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So I am a design strategist and creative coach. I've been working in the design field since 2001. So I've gone from freelance designer to creative and art director. I've been a publishing director. I started my own sort of boutique agency in 2012, and I've been doing that ever since, and kind of started doing blogging and videos and now podcasts. So I have a lot of things because I really love helping creatives stay inspired, and I love helping them get unstuck and giving them the tools to do that, because nobody likes staring at the blank page, right? Like trying to come up with ideas and just not having the tools to get over that hump. And so that's what I do now. I do love designing book covers and things for musicians, but besides that, I'm kind of just helping creatives and coaching and doing that. So that's like the super truncated Cliff's Notes version of what I do.
I mean, us creatives need a lot of help, don't we? I feel like we get stuck, or a lot of people who are listening to the show are like, I am not a creative person, but you're dealing mainly with people who are already in the creative field. So talk a little bit about like how they get stuck. Why are they stuck? Do you think that because they're getting paid to be creative, it kind of takes the joy a little bit away, or how does it work?
I think it could be both. So I think, first of all, I think everybody's creative. We're all just creative in different ways. And so I like to help creative professionals is kind of more the niche, because we get stuck when a lot of us, especially graphic designers, but sometimes, photographers, illustrators, any kind of person that has to be creative for a living, we have this pressure of being creative on demand. It's like you have a due date, you have a client that needs something, and you can't sit back and go, well, I kind of just don't feel like making something today. It's like you don't really have that option when your client needs your photos edited, or your client needs, a poster designed or a logo brand put together. And so that pressure sometimes like redoubles the anxiety over not knowing. And then you have self-doubt. And then you're like, was my last idea my best idea? Am I never going to have anything cool again? And it just kind of snowballs into creatives really not being able to do anything, not look,
Mhm.
and then we start looking in places for inspiration that are kind of sad. Like we just get on Dribble or we get on Pinterest and it's like, I need some inspiration, but we're all looking in the same place for that inspiration. Then all the work looks the same and then nobody stands out. And so what I help people do is have a process, learn a specific method that will help you get over that blank page wall where it's like, I don't know what to do right now. So I give the tools to go, here's what you put on the page. Here's how you start. And that starts the good snowball effect of like, okay, I'm doing something. Now I'm moving. Now I'm doing something. And then when it comes to the inspiration, I also help creatives and designers understand how to find their own inspiration. So not looking online, getting off the computer, looking in books maybe that aren't design books, going out into the world and looking at things that inspire you and build up your own creative voice. Then you can create work that stands out because you are creating from inside of you. You're not creating from, oh, I like that pillow design, but I don't want to plagiarize. So I'm just going to change this little thing here and this little thing there and call it mine. But that's not really coming from you. That's coming from the person that actually made that, and you're just twisting it a little bit. So that is really where creatives get stuck, is really feeling like you can't make me be creative right now. I don't feel creative, but we all have to choose. We have to choose to be creative. You know, I feel like even Picasso probably had times where he didn't feel creative, but he did it because it's sometimes just what you do. um I think about it sometimes like love, right? You don't always, you're married, I'm married, we've all had relationships. You don't always feel like you love that person, right? Sometimes you don't actually feel that feeling, whether it's your mood or something that's happened or the news or the weather. Like sometimes you just don't feel love, but you choose to love that person. You're choosing it. So then when you choose it, you act in love because you are choosing to love. And so being creative for me is very similar. It's like, I don't feel creative today, but I'm going to choose to create and choose to think that I am creative and start to create, and then the feelings will come later because then you're creating and then you go, oh, I am creative because I'm creating.
I love it. It's like a circle, like once you get into that little treadmill, you can kind of
Yeah,
stay in there, but it's like going to the gym or, you got to show up.
yeah, exactly. It's exactly like that. It's, you don't, nobody, I can't say nobody, there are probably people that feel like working out. I never feel like working out.
Yeah.
But once I get on my bike or whatever I have, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this. I'm here. I could do this for a while.
Yes, definitely. I really like how you compared it to love too, because it's true. There are days where I'm like, oh, you're so annoying. But
Right.
I still love you. I
Yes.
still love you because
Yeah.
we're choosing. It's not going to be
It's
like
the
a
choice.
super passionate feeling all the time. And it's the same
No,
with creativity. Do you believe that there's spirituality involved in creativity?
I do. I personally do. I believe that I am created by a creative creator. And so
Hmm.
as a result of being created by someone creative and being created in his image, I believe that we are all creative. Like we are made to create. We are made, like all of us, even if people say I'm not creative, like everybody has a desire to create, to make, whether that's like creating a child or, you know, creating a drawing to build a building or, there's so many avenues to create. And I think that we are all made to want to make something outside of ourselves. And
Hmm.
so I do think it's a spiritual exercise. I do think that, especially getting out in the world and looking at nature, um, I look a lot at nature, but I also love looking at like buildings and things man-made. So it's like it's sort of like a reflection of both. You go into nature and you can see like there's so much cool detail here, and someone created this. And then I can go, to Paris and look at a sculpture and see someone created this, and go into New York and see these tall skyscrapers and just be in awe that someone created that. So I think that seeing created things as more than just the sum of their parts is a lot of where you have to tap into your own inspiration and see what inspires you. And that can feel very spiritual.
Definitely. And do you believe that creating on demand can be kind of a bad thing? Because I know a lot of people talk about like needing to rest and taking a break if you're just not feeling you're not feeling it. Like obviously if we're doing this as a career, we don't really have that choice, But I'm saying more from just for like a fun, like I'm just creating for fun. I want to paint something or draw something. Do you believe that resting is just as important and creating on demand can be bad?
I don't think that creating on demand can be bad as long as you are still allowing time for those free flowing creative moments, because um I paint as a hobby. I'm not good at it. I just like to put acrylic on the canvas and see what happens, but that is very freeing, and I do that because it allows me to just kind of let myself go. It's harder for me to just design free flowing, because for me design always needs to have a purpose. It needs to have a problem to solve. It needs like all these things. So like the Hemingway project that I did was more of a that's a personal project. That was something that I didn't have to do, but I wanted to do. So it was sort of like a mix between the painting and the design. It was like, okay, I'm going to create a goal for myself, but create something that just I want. So nobody's waiting on it. So I think that if you have only creating times that are client based or deadline based, that's exhausting and you're going to burn out, and that's not good. So there should be rest. I don't know how much you know about the Enneagram, but I'm an
No,
Enneagram I'm
nothing.
an Enneagram 3, which means that I have a hard time stopping and not working, and I I like to get value out of giving value to other people. So for me, it takes a lot of energy to not do things all the time. So I recently during COVID have begun playing a video game called Animal Crossing because it requires my brain and my hands. So I have to rest. Like I have to rest. If I'm watching a movie or if I'm watching a show or like anything, I've got my phone because I'm doing business, or I've got my laptop or my iPad because I'm creating something, or I'm working with a client over here doing this. I'm always multitasking. So I have had to train myself to find something that I can rest in, or going for a walk and listening to a podcast that's just indulgent as opposed to what I usually do, which is like, I'm going to listen to a master class, or,
Yeah.
trying to learn something all the time. So I think that it can be bad. It just depends on how much of your time that on demand is taking up, because it will burn you out, and then you'll be like, I hate being creative. I'm never going to do this again. I'm going to go work at McDonald's.
No, I think we are the same person because I definitely never stop and I'm always coming up with ideas and I always want to help others and connect people and
Hmm.
but your head is spinning and
Yeah.
that it's so funny because the pandemic a lot of people took some time off but me I started a podcast and wrote 2 books and then I'm like
Yeah.
starting another project and it's like Crystal like take a minute but we
Yeah.
just don't know how and what like I like what you were saying about like taking a walk finding things to make yourself slow down. Because I guess there's a lot of guilt involved in that too. Because also as freelancers, what we do is what we get. We
Yes.
don't have a choice really.
Right.
So anytime I feel like I'm resting, I feel like, okay, you're not going to make any money. You're not going to get anything done. Your life is going down the toilet, but there's a
Yeah.
balance there.
There is. Yeah. Um, Something that I have to tell myself is that rest is valuable. Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, rest should be part of the process. I honestly even have sleep as part of the process that I teach, just in an effort to, it's more in the way of like looking at inspiration from other people and then sleeping and then getting up to sketch in the morning without looking at that stuff, because your brain has a way of meshing all your inspiration and coming out as you. But I have had to learn that rest is valuable, because I had a spontaneous lung collapse in 2018
Mm,
and couldn't do anything. I
yeah.
couldn't read because I was on so much medication that I couldn't even like keep a sentence in my head, and that was frustrating because I love to read. And so in that, it was almost like I was forced to see like, look, sometimes you just need to not do things. And I have a lot of residual pain and things from that, but what it really taught me is that there needs to be some times to do nothing. And when I do that, even if I'm playing a video game, I have to tell myself, this is actually going to make me better later.
Hmm.
I'll be clearer later. So I have set some boundaries. I'm still not great at it. Like I really am not that great at it, but I'm way better than I was before. Even if like the only downtime I have is the hour I play that video game, it's like, okay, I'm capable of not working all the time. And like, what's
Yeah.
what's the next step? Okay, maybe I can watch like a show with my husband and not like respond to my DMs or my client emails. So
Yeah.
it is a balance, but it's hard. You do feel guilty.
Yeah, and our bodies will tell us, right? Our bodies, you'll get sick all the time, you'll have back pain, you'll have
Yes.
headache, whatever, all of the above, because your body's like, look, if you're not going to listen, I will show
Yeah.
you. So,
I will punish you for your
yes,
hard
you
work.
will be punished. I've learned that the hard way too. In my
Yeah.
20s, it was a lot easier not to listen because I'm just like, I don't need you, body. But now
Right?
I'm like, now I'm like,
I
oh,
know.
my back hurts.
I know. I'm like 2 years away from 40, and I'm like, well, I guess I should have listened a little better earlier in life.
Yeah, listen to that now, people, if you're still in your 20s or even whatever
They
age. Like,
won't. They won't.
yes, definitely they won't. I wouldn't have. And where do you draw your ideas for your workshops? Because you're constantly helping others, you're constantly having to innovate how to help others. So, what do you do?
Oh man, this is gonna sound like really, I don't know what the word is, like self-centered, but I just I just have a lot of ideas. Like
Hmm.
like you said, like you always have something, like there's always something you want to do. Um I've the primary idea for my main thing that I teach, the process, is just something that I do. It's something that have been doing since I was in college as a designer, and I have sort of developed different steps in this process over the years. But I found that incorporating literary methods, which is something I've always done, into my process is actually really unique and is the key to getting over that hump of, like I said, like creative block for designers, more specifically creatives, but mostly designers. And when I realized like what a game changer that was, I actually was asked just by coincidence to teach advanced design concepts at my alma mater to juniors and senior designers, and was able to start implementing this just as to like see how it would work if someone else did it, not just me, see if it was teachable. And it was incredible, like the results that came from it. And so I thought, everyone has a process, but this is like the supercharged get over your creative block and actually make work that gets noticed process. Not
Hmm.
just, yeah, everyone has a process. Everyone has like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, but this is like a specific way of going through the design process that you will never feel stuck. You will always be prepared. You will have your ideas. And so for that workshop specifically, which is like the foundation of everything I do, it just came as kind of a result of things that I did that I thought maybe might be valuable to other people. Other things that I teach, like, color psychology, and like going beyond color theory for designers, because a lot of people in the creative fields choose colors based on their feelings. It's like, well, this just feels cool. Like, let's just throw some green and blue over here. And discounting completely the power that a color can have over anything you put it on, whether it's clothing or packaging or a poster or anything. So I talk about color a lot. That's a really big thing. Other things that I talk about, I don't know where the ideas come. Sometimes I listen to a lot of podcasts, I read a lot of books, and I watch a lot of documentaries about creative people. So I think that me sleeping on a lot of things kind of meshes things in my own brain,
Yeah.
and I come out with stuff on the other side, or I see maybe someone doing something that I'm like, I like how they did that workshop thing, but I think that I could do something better or something along those lines, but in my own way.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Have you read the book Steal Like an Artist?
Yes, of course.
And
I'm
how do
definitely
you
them.
feel? Yeah, how do you feel about that? Like, because I think that's basically kind of what you're saying is like, do you feel like nothing is completely can be new, but we put our spin on it and our background on it, and our other teachings in it, you know?
Yeah, I think that he has a lot of really valid and valuable insight into those things. I think that what I think that sometimes people confuse stealing like an artist with just like grab that thing and put your spin on it. Um,
Hmm.
and I sort of disagree with that. I think that you should never just look at one thing and put your spin on it. I think that you should always look at multiple things and try to like mix and match things that maybe you liked the type from this thing, and maybe you liked how the layout was over here. And then you can go out into the world and look around, and maybe you found a cool texture on, the sidewalk, and you can put that in. And so I'm more of a proponent of like the sum of parts of things
Hmm.
that you take in like a big soup and
Yeah.
make it your own, as opposed to just copying something. I will say though, like if you're an early designer or an early creator of anything, you have to copy first. And that's the only time that I think that I can advocate for just direct copying of a style or a thing, is to learn how they did that, or to understand that layout, or to see why they chose certain things and just make a direct copy, but never pass that off as your own, as like
Hmm.
your own, and very much like crediting that person and say, here's my version of this person's thing. Because it can get real sketchy real fast, and that's something that I fight against with like all my being, is like creatives just copying things and saying that it's their own.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think it's very important that we give credit where credit is due, obviously.
Hmm.
And so you were talking about designing your book cover for the Movable Feast, kind of a passion project you
Oh yes.
did. And obviously, you love Paris and you've been to Paris, and Paris inspires you. Why do you think that Paris attracts so many creative people?
That's a really good question. I think on one level for me, it is almost like a mythical place that you can visit. It's like it's one of those things that gets built up, right? It gets built up so much in film, in literature, and music, and so many things, and people talking about it. And when you go there, it is all those things. And so it sort of like shocks you. Like when I went to, I've been all over the world and I travel a lot. And there's definitely places that I've been that I'm like, you know, they said this was really cool. And I'm just kind of, like it's okay. Like it's nice. But when you go to Paris, it's like there is a like vibe that you feel. Like you get off the metro from the airport, and there's a smell, and there's the auditory stuff that you get, and like I'm getting the chills just talking about it. It's just there is something about it that you can really. My husband wasn't a huge fan of Paris, just of the idea of Paris, and he's like, yeah, like it sounds cool, like we'll definitely go because it's like your place. But I don't know if I'll need to go again, because I can visit it once and probably be fine. And after, like on our last day there, he was like, I could definitely come back here more than once. And it was just like it entrances you. I think that there's sort of like an idea of freedom there, of freedom of expression. Um, there's so many inspiring things to see. And like whether you like looking at old buildings or new buildings, you could go to different parts of Paris. Whether you like, fancy food or, homey type food, like, and not that you can't find that in other places, but I think that it feels much more woven together in Paris. Like it doesn't seem like there's these really delineated like things.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like everyone's sort of in this together, and everything's really fluid, and that really does lend to this feeling of inspiration and being inspired and feeling creative. And even if it isn't for you like it is for me, like this unbelievable experience when you are in Paris, if you go to Paris and you don't feel inspired in some way, like even if you're not a creative professional, like something's wrong.
Look into your psyche there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
it's
that
funny.
answer your question? That was like
Yeah,
very
definitely. I mean, it's funny because it goes like extremely both ways. Like they either completely love it or completely hate it. I haven't heard anybody say like, yeah, it's okay, I can take it or leave it. It's usually like, I love it or no.
Yes,
But most people
yes,
love it. I mean, obviously, Paris is its own market. It doesn't need to be sold.
mhm.
Everyone knows about Paris and what Paris is. It's very marketable. But I definitely for
Yeah. People
myself
that live
coming
there
here.
probably wish it was undersold.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we're understanding more and more how much we need tourists for money. Yes, we need all
Oh,
the visitors.
yeah. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, with the
I hadn't
lacking with
even
tourism.
thought of that. Yeah, we just as a sidebar, here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, we have an international balloon fiesta every October.
Oh, fun.
That
Oh, my
brings.
cousin just proposed at that.
Oh my
He
gosh, that's
proposed
amazing.
last year at it. Yeah, he wanted me to come shoot it, but we couldn't coordinate. But it looks so cool.
Oh, it's so cool. And it brings tons of tourism. Like we have festivals, like side festivals around it and all sorts of things. And we had to cancel all this year. And it was just like, oh, there's a lot of people that are like not working right now. So I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's eye-opening when you lose tourism. And what would you say to people who say they're not creative at all, or they're kind of searching for their creativity, vibe, soul, whatever you want to call it? What
Yeah.
advice would you give them?
I think one, if you don't think that you're creative, I think we need to redefine. You need to redefine for you, and I think the world at large needs to redefine what creative means. Because I think when people think I'm not creative, like my mom will say, "Oh, she's not creative," but she plays the drums and she makes beautiful things in the kitchen that I don't even understand. And um, I think that when people say they're not creative, they have this picture of like Claude Monet or, you know, someone sculpting something out of the rock. And it's like, oh, I'm not creative. Or even to me, they'll say, oh, you do design. Like, I'm just not creative. That's so cool that you can do that. And it's like, wait, it's not one thing. Like, creativity is so many things. And I would encourage you to kind of take a look at what you do,
Hmm.
and whether that's, accounting or anything. If you're an author, you're creating. If you are an editor, editors tell me all the time that they're not creative. I have a friend who's an editor, and I'm like, you are creative. You have to figure out how to make these words sound right and put things together in ways that appeal to like the human mind. And that is very creative. Like that's really interesting. And so if you're searching for like a path of creativity, write down things that you enjoy. Like I have something that I use with my coaching clients, and it's just basically a Venn diagram, and it is like things that you're good at and things that you like to do, and see like what lands in the middle. Like what are you good at and what do you like to do? If you like to rock climb but you're not good at it, but you're good at, photography, so maybe learn to rock climb and take your camera with you, and you can find great photos at the top of a mountain. And that's like a form of creativity. And if you really feel like you have nothing, try something out. Like, try taking pictures, try drawing, try painting. If none of those things are for you, there are so many ways to be creative. And like, it takes a pretty easy like search on Skillshare or something to like just learn something new and see what
Yeah.
you like.
I think that's great advice, because the internet has opened up a whole new world for us, right? And like, you can
Yeah.
look at Pinterest and Instagram and Skillshare and Masterclass, and
Hmm.
you can find something, even
Yeah.
it might be something you never even thought about.
Yeah. Even watch, like, there's so many documentaries about people doing creative things. Like, Queer Eye is a bunch of creative guys dressing people. Like, they are massively creative. There's, I don't know, America's Got Talent. I don't know if you guys have like UK's Got Talent. Like, there are so many things that you could learn, and it's just a matter of like, if you love watching dance shows, maybe you should try learning to dance.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
love watching people, design fashions, maybe give it a shot. Like, who knows? So just follow what is inspiring to you is the key, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, the other thing I heard the other day is if you're jealous of someone or something they're doing, you should be doing it, which was like, oh, wow, that
Absolutely.
makes a lot of sense. I had
Yes.
never thought about that. But if you're jealous, then go try.
That's probably what led me down the book cover designing thing is like, well, two things. That is, I love to design and I love literature. And so my Venn diagram for my personal projects was, okay, what lands in that space? Book
Hmm.
design. Like, and it seems really simple, but it was hard to get there for a little while for me. I was like, well, what do
Yeah.
I do for myself? It's really fun and interesting.
Yeah, exactly. And also, when we realize, what we like, it's kind of scary to ask for it, like it's kind of scary to do it. So I think that a lot of times
Yeah.
we kind of distract ourselves with other things instead of doing what we want to do.
Yeah, it is. It is hard to start, which is always the key.
Mhm, mhm.
But
And
finishing
just,
is hard too, so it's all hard.
yeah, it's all
Creativity is
hard,
hard.
but the joy is in the difficulty, right?
It is. Yeah, it's like, and then when you're done with whatever you made or created, it's like, here's my baby. Isn't she pretty?
I work so hard.
I worked so hard on it. Tell me she's pretty.
Not everyone's baby is pretty, but it's still important that you create it.
Yes, that's when you say, how sweet.
Yeah, exactly. Nice try. And where can people find you online and take your workshops?
Yeah, so I don't have my workshops up yet, but I will be posting them before the end of the year. I have a big masterclass type of thing happening in the late fall that will be limited registration. But you can find me on my website at brandysea.com. It's Brandi SEA, like the body of water.com. And I am Brandi Sea everywhere. I'm the only one as far as I know. So you can find me on Medium, you can find me on Pinterest and Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn and all the places. So
It's a great name, a great song too. We talked about your mom named you after
yes,
the song.
yes. Oh, and I do have a podcast. It's Design Speaks Podcast, and that is available everywhere too. So
Perfect. We'll add that in the show notes. And thank you so much for chatting with me today, Brandi.
yeah, thank you. It's great
And
to
we'll
be
see you
here.
in Paris next time.
Yes, very soon.
Thanks so much for tuning in to La Vie Creative. You can find more information on MissParisPhoto.com. And if you enjoyed this show, please feel free to share and spread the word for all my creative guests. We have the power to help them to keep doing what they love. See you next time.